Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tuber. Welcome back. If this is your 7th The Rookie Season 5 episode review, man, I'm going to miss y'all. Mild spoilers, we are on break after this week until December 4th. Like, when we come back, Thanksgiving would pass. Basically, it's a whole month. Like, a whole month away from the rookie. I'm like, damn, that was really harsh. I mean, don't get me wrong. We had an amazing, fun 7 weeks straight, a brand new rookie episode. It was great, but the cast needs time to film more episodes for our viewing pleasure. But it's still a damn shame. It sucks. But, you know, when we come back, we're going to be back harder than ever. We got a lot of things to kick up. We still got some things to explain, still some things to explore. But for now, on this week's The Rookie, it's setting up pieces. I'll give it that. Definitely, it is giving a lot of, oh my god, this is exactly what I need for, like, you know, this wasn't a big episode in terms of, like, you know, this was a massive, you know, follow-up to last week. I think last week was just really, really well done. This was still really good. I'm gonna give it that, but it's just, again, that's the one problem when you have a show that's consistently good and great, is that not every episode is going to top the next. You're going to downgrade a little bit, but in a good way. It's not a bad thing. Just because I mentioned it's downgrade doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means that not every episode can be perfection. Otherwise, Game of Thrones should be knocked off that list a long time ago. But anyway, I really enjoyed this episode. I really did, and I can't wait to see what more shenanigans, what more storylines they have planned for us when we come back in December, most likely for 2 weeks, and then we're going to go on another break till January. It's the way how the world works, you know. It is what it is. Nothing we can do. This is the one problem when you have like an amazing streak of new episodes, and eventually you're going to get pretty much of a decent month or so with no episodes. But I was thankful for the 7 episodes. But with that being said, I want to go through the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of The Rookie. So we begin. Nolan and Selena are patrolling the streets of LA on a fine someday morning. They find a guy pushing a casket in the middle of the street. They're flabbergasted because, like, this is another first for Nolan. Like, ironically, more firsts happen to Nolan when he's on duty with Selena. It just has to happen like that. Yes, so they ask him what's going on. The guy's very poignant, very, like, you know, tame, and saying, like, yeah, I'm just pushing him to the bar, trying to get one last drink together, which I'm like, I'm not pretty sure how a bar is going to accept a casket that's, like, I don't know, like a giant-ass casket taking up a bar. I mean, yeah, it is day drinking, so I'm pretty sure you would find some bar that will be like, okay, sure, but I got no other customer, sure, leave the casket here for now. And no one's like, that's a sweet sentiment, but, you know, you can't push a casket in the middle of an open street. You just can't. And he's like, okay, I want to make sure the body's dead. The body's not dead. It's just the brother's still alive. They're just being very vague of saying, like, oh, this is the last time I'm seeing my brother. He's moving away to not too far away into the city of LA, just a little bit further. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Just take a car, take an Uber, for God's sake. It's not that bad. And it's like, where do you even get the coffin from? He's like, we found it on the street. I'm like, boy, first of all, a coffin is very expensive. I don't know why. Just, I understand the woodsmanship, the crafting, the skill, the constructed, the time. I'm not gonna say it's not worth the cost. It's just, you'd be surprised how much a coffin is worth. I'm not surprised more people get cremated nowadays. Hell, I wouldn't even mind getting cremated. I don't think I will. Actually, it is the same thing. You know what? It is what it is. But yeah, I was like, you know, I was a little flabbergasted myself there. We come back to Nolan's house where Bailey's doing her morning meditation, and she says, we need to talk. I'm like, oh no, this is it. The breakup's over, everyone. Nolan's back on the market. Not go with a single woman and everything. Nolan's back. Nah, it's not it. Apparently, Bailey's been feeling that the energy has been off in the house because Selena's been sleeping over many, many times now, I'm assuming. And then they got talking. It's like, yeah, like the energy is off here. I'm like, boy, I swear to God, if this becomes a running trend every season, hopefully, God forbid, we get more seasons. And every one we get Nolan's new rookie, they're just like doing the same thing of, like, you know, they're bonding with Bailey. It's like, these are Bailey and Nolan's kids by extension, even though, like, I don't think they make plans to have kids of their own, but I don't think they will. They never talked about it. But yeah, just because they didn't talk about it doesn't mean we won't ever get one. But we'll see. We'll see. No one's too old for this crap. But no, it's like the energy's off in the house, and she wants to, like, you know, try to revive it somehow, bring it back to something where she feels comfortable. And yeah, apparently Bailey still has her apartment, which I'm like, if you're engaged and you're still, like, again, there's no standard definition of, like, oh, an engaged couple has to be living in the same house. That doesn't have to mean that. It's just, it's just for me like weird. It's like, well, you're already spending. It's like the Marshall and Lily thing. Like you're basically already living here, and yet the excuse is you just want your own experience. It's like, oh, this is lacking something. It's like, yeah, just move in. There's the solution. But no one said he'll get back at Celine about this. He'll get back to this. I want to say I don't think we get any more backgrounds. I think we just go straight to the bullpen. I want to say we're not forgetting anything. Yeah, no, not yet. So we get to the bullpen. Bradford's giving the morning call. Everything seems to be perfectly fine. They're getting a raise, so it's like pretty happy. This honestly was about to see like an easy week for them compared to previous weeks, but not just quite yet. Gray, the entire LAP department is getting served by none other than Elijah Stone, which I'm like already getting his master plan in motion, getting his revenge. I love it. I love it when villains are just like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna come back for the mid-season finale. Nah, this guy's getting straight into it. He's suing everyone. He's suing Gray. He's suing Lopez. He's suing Wesley. He wants justice for the defamation of character he's been experiencing. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm over exaggerating here. It's also including a request to peel into their personnel files to see any other open complaints against them that he might use for his case. While they're unable to stop the lawsuit, Nolan manages to make a call with the union lead to see if there's any way to make sure that everything is being followed. This is not like another seedy corruption just to get their files so Stone can use them against them. But it is pretty alarming that like literally not even like a week after he gets out, like he already is finally sued, which again is normally the character reaction. Obviously it is expected, but I'm like, yeah, he's moving pretty quickly to do this. But even though Wesley's not there, he's still feeling the brunt of it as he heads to his local coffee shop, ready to get a scone and coffee. And Elijah's there, which I'm like, I was not expecting this guy so soon. I'm like, he's already showing the hell up. Brandon J. McLaren, you're killing the game already. He's there to also serve Wesley a restraining order. Apparently saying like, well, I can't touch you. You got a detective as your wife. You got the entire LAPD and the DA's office in your back pocket. I can't touch you right now. So what I can do is file a restraining order. And the judge granted me that because of the circumstance, which I'm like, boy, it's like you can't find love. You can't like decide to fix your life and have it not bite you in the ass. It's like, this is the sort of thing that I'm not surprised irks me. It really is the guy. I feel so sorry for Wesley right now. Wesley has no choice but to abide by the restraining order, saying that, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Elijah won't win. Meanwhile, there was one more thing where before the morning meeting, Lopez and Harper were handling a crime scene where a bodega owner was shot and killed, and apparently the only connection they have is to this brand new female gang that's been enacting around town, that initially one officer's just excusing him like, oh, it's nothing important, and Harper and Lopez are like, what are you thinking? Just because they're female, they're not like a force to be reckoned with? Like, oh, no. It's like, yeah, dude, you better just go away. Just make sure you never get seen on the show again. That's just like the smartest move to do. So they're thinking about how to best approach this, since they're assuming that they're involved, but of course it's kind of hard to get evidence against them since they're pretty much fresh and a tight-knit crew. So they're thinking about sending someone undercover. They're thinking Lucy, who already graduated UC school, so she's ready to be to go into like her first proper assignment post-school, so this will be a great way to stretch her leg. She's originally hesitant to do so because this gang's already tight-knit. They're already like a sisterhood. Like, you kind of need to really get it into the gang, and just her showing up is just not going to cut it, really. So they're thinking about what the best angle is to get in on this, so they're taking some time to go figure that out. Meanwhile, everyone else is hitting the streets. Bradford and Aaron are taking a call about a little noise complaint. It's a mom with her son. Her son's been acting up a little bit, not in a bad way, but just like, the rebellious teenager ways, let's call it. And she's concerned that because her own daughter actually was sadly recruited into a gang and left home, that he might follow suit as well, and she doesn't want that. She's just making sure he doesn't follow her same footsteps. They go to talk to him. He's fine. He's just acting out, wanting to like spread his wings and fly, even though, bro, you're only 15 years old, relax. And I'm saying that like, I'm so old. I'm not old, I'm only 25. I'm just saying, like, it's so weird that 10 years ago I was 15. I can't even think about that. I'm going to move on. Thankfully, it's nothing a major issue. Aaron and Bradford managed to like to calm him down a little bit and just like tell, hey, look, if you need any help, here's my card. You know, just keep me in check. If anything does happen, I'll be there for you. And the moment they leave, it's like Bradford's like, yeah, you got a puppy, and I'm like, Bradford, you just have this way, like you and attract them to have puppies. It's just hilarious. If you don't know what a puppy is, it basically means like it's a little, it's a minor that you're trying to like give them a second chance, and like mentor them. Similar to when Lucy had Tahara, last year during end of season 3, beginning of season 4, around there. No, it was end of season 3. Yeah. So after the so they head back over that way. Nolan and Selena are just getting a little bit into it about her trying to get into their lives with the whole energy discussion, and like she's like, it's not you, it's just the aura, it's just the energy. Like, bruh, this is exactly what, like, Nolan, you're just such a nice guy, but there should be a limit. Like, don't come into my house in a turning red onesie expecting to just sleep over every time. Like, there's a thing called boundary. I swear to God, if Bradford was Selena's TL and she just went to his house in that costume, he would literally just give her like an entire essay to report. He would kick her off the force. It's like, she is lucky she has no one as a TL, but I mean, there's a restriction to things. Like, okay, I like my boss too, but I'm not going to go all the way to his house and, like, just say, like, hey, can I sleep over here because I feel comfortable with you? Like, no, I'm not going to do that. BS to that. But, anywho, so I'm picking up from that point onwards. They're talking, and I want to say something major happens. I don't entirely remember exactly what happened in this moment, but I do know they pull over someone for, like, a minor speeding ticket. They look behind again, and they find a woman shooting someone in the car. Selena goes to check on the guy. Nolan goes after the girl. And I sort of got, I originally saw, there was a dog in the scene. I'm like, oh my God, Nolan's going to arrest the thing, and there's going to be a whole dog pup. I'm like, yes, this is exactly what we need on the rookie. We need a dog. We need the rookie dog. That's what we exactly need right now. No, it's not. It's just a random street dog that I guess this woman was taking care of for a little bit. They arrest her. She's just explaining, like, he got what he deserves. However, the interesting thing to note is that this body was already dead. He was already long dead before they got there. So the gunshot was basically nothing. So it's like, well, so she shot at a dead body. So what the hell are we going to charge them with? Who do we call? We call Gray. Gray says, I really don't know. I mean, it's not really murder because the victim's dead. I really don't know what it is. They call Bradford. They don't even know what it is either. So I'm like, what the hell do we charge her with? Because, like, there's, she clearly has a gun. She had the intent to shoot someone and kill someone. We got to arrest her on something. And, like, they got nothing. And like, okay, fine. We'll go to the DA's office and see if we can find any other case that would be similar that we can charge her with, because I'm stumped too. Like, I've never heard of a case like this, but regardless, there's a murder at play. They're going to find it somehow. And because Gray's busy with the whole Elijah thing and the detectives are on the other murder, for some reason they decided, we're going to let Nolan and Selena take care of this entire investigation, which I'm like, I don't think that's how it works 100%, but I guess they are understaffed to the point, like, yeah, okay, fine, we'll let the officers take care of this for once, including the rookie. You know what? Stranger things have happened in this world. Stranger things have happened. Meanwhile, Aaron is still getting texts from the kid. Everything seems to be going all right. Things are starting to be mended a little bit. I know there was one other scene with this one, but I completely forgot about that. I know they eventually we come back to Lucy and the others where they're still figuring out how do we get inside the gang and everything, and they find a proposed member that has a sibling with the address that was just visited to by the cops, i.e. Aaron and Bradford. So they realize, okay, so there's a connection here, so we might have an in. So they approached them saying that, since they made contact, like, is there any way that we can use the kid to get Lucy in with the gang so she can find out what she needs to know? Aaron's like immediately, no, like, we just made contact. I'm about to have dinner in his house. I'm not going to, like, literally put this kid under the wire just for the sake of the investigation. But Lucy and the others do have a point that, a killer's on the loose, a guy's dead. It's one of those conflicts of interest where, like, yeah, you got to understand both sides of things. Like, yes, the kid should not be used for a tool to solve a murder. It shouldn't be. There's a risk. They're minors. anything can go wrong in a case, and you know if anything was to go wrong, the outcry will be immense right now. On the other hand, yeah, you can't just like let a murder suspect get away just because like their only real end is for a kid. It's so iffy. It's a matter of opinion. Both sides are right. Like for me, I believe both sides. Like yes, whoever killed him should be caught, but you shouldn't put a minor in this instant because again, anything could happen. I do understand this, and again, in their position, they're thinking of we need to catch the murder suspect. That's our priority. Again, I understand there is the other side of things. This is one of those like both sides are right type things. It just there should be a compromise. It's just a value of time. Like, you know, there really isn't much time for them to explore, so they got to take advantage of this. So Aaron signs off, but considering the fact he is a minor, they need to get approval from the mother. So they bring them both down. They explain the situation. They're like, yes, we are going to try and take down the gang that your daughter is in. And, you know, at first they're a little concerned, like, is this the right idea? But they know that eventually, like, well, if they can take down the gang, maybe she has a better chance of coming home. Which I'm like, I mean, there is rehabilitation. There is that. I don't know. I just don't believe it's going to be simple as like, I missed you guys. I want to come home, but I've done all this crazy stuff already. But they sign off on it. They let him go on the op and, you know, get Lucy in undercover. Meanwhile, Nolan and Selena are exploring all angles. They contact the wife, who's a little bit suspicious, but she's not acting super suspicious. So they don't completely disregard her, but they don't really get any other information. They talk to the girl who was about to shoot him. She explains that her dad had an accident, and this doctor prescribed him a lot of opioids for the pain. He got addicted to it. He eventually overdosed on it a few months ago. She did every legal way to, like, you know, get this guy, you know, punished for what he did. Nothing ever worked. So she decided to go kill him himself. And, well, they told him, like, yeah, well, you didn't really do anything because he was already dead before you shot him. So technically you didn't kill him. So technically we can't charge you for murder. We'll charge you with everything else. You'll pay a fine. But other than that, that's it. Like, you're free to go. And I'm pretty sure, like, this is, like, the luckiest instance in the world. Like, I had the intention to kill someone. Oh, he's already dead? Oh, great. That works out in my benefit. Like, literally, this is the 1% chance where, like, the person gets what they want and they don't get punished for it. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure that she had to pay, like, some X amount of $1,000 of a fine. I'm pretty sure about that. But, you know, other than that, like, she literally got away scot-free. And she can go back to take care of that sweet little dog. Anywho, so they let her go, and they're just trying to figure out what other angles can they explore. So they put a pause on that. We'll come back to that. Meanwhile, they're about to put Lucy in undercover. They use the kid as kind of like a guise of like, hey, I'm here. Here's your brother. I bring him to you. I'm about to step out. But but Lucy's undercover attitude, her personality, and just the way she thought is enough to convince the leader, which I swear to God, I've seen her before somewhere. I don't remember. And this is like after last week, we're like, I recognize, you know, Tom, and then also Jay August, and also bringing back Brandon J. McCullough. Like last week was just a fire game. I swear I've seen her somewhere. I swear. I don't remember. It's literally one of those, I just do not remember what the heck's going on. Is my mic on? Okay, my mic's on. I'm just making sure because, you know, things happen. So they bring her in. They bring her and the kid in. So she's slowly bonding with them. The kid's just talking to other kids his age while they're doing the business. Lucy's slowly trying to get to know more about it, but the kid's sister's like being a little sus of like, hey, she's asking a lot of questions for like a newcomer. This is a little sus. Which is like, yeah, you're exactly right, but this is a TV show, so we're gonna keep going like nothing's really happening. And the leader probably has a crush on her, because who wouldn't? Eventually, there's a moment of testing where I guess the kid gets into an argument with the other kids, and they start beating him up. Thankfully, they defuse the situation, but the sister pulls out a gun in front of them. The leader tells her to stand there, like, we don't need this to happen again. So they let him go, but the kid's already made a little number on him, a little bit of some blood and everything. Eventually, there's a moment of weakness where like he is tempted to take the gun for revenge, but considering the fact he knows this is an op, he backs out and says, I'm just gonna walk home. Don't worry about me. So Lucy stays behind, already in. They pick up the kid, and then originally at first it's a little concerning, like, well, is he actually gonna like feel bad? Cause like, hey, you promised me I wouldn't get hurt, and I got hurt. So what do we do now? But no, we head back to the station. Aaron's already chill with him. Everything's fine. The mom is angry herself for like, you promised me it was just going to be a quick in and out. And Aaron's like, you're exactly right. I should have pulled him out. And I forgot, there was one scene where Aaron wanted to pull him out earlier, but Bradford's like, no, if you pull him out too now, it's going to be just way too quick, way too convenient that, okay, this woman's in, and then the guy decides to leave. Like, it's too convenient, which makes sense. But again, like, you know, you're keeping a bait in the lines that then it's not going to work out that well if you keep them too long. And even during the heat of that moment, Aaron's like, oh, you're just letting him live in there so that Lucy can get an advantage in her career. And obviously, again, Lucy is still kind of a sore spot with Bradford because, like, yes, we are acknowledging that he still has some undiscussed emotions about her, let's say that. We're saying the very plain possible. And they haven't talked about it in weeks. It's eventually going to have to come up at some point. Like, that's just unavoidable. Again, it's all about playing the game. But it's like, it was one of those cases where, like, Bradford's thinking more. He's thinking more. And hearing this reaction of, like, you're only doing this because of Lucy, it doesn't sit well with him. Not because it's an attack on his choices, but it's an act on his emotions. And, you know, we didn't get much into that in this episode, but we'll come back to that eventually. So the mom pulls out the kid. They take him home, like, explaining, like, they're done with cops. They don't want any more involvement in this matter. Lucy keeps bonding with the gang, and everything seems to be going well. The leader even offers her to, like, hey, come with us on a run, like, you know, just come with us, you know, maybe if we like your vibe very well, maybe you can have a place with us. The sister's already like, nah, man, you're acting way too fast. Again, the leader calms her down, saying that it's fine, don't worry about it. So they go hit up a local Hispanic restaurant, which I'm like, why? Why are you going to hit on my Spanish boy? All he's trying to do is sell delicious gourmet delicacies. Why are you hurting him? Why are you punishing him? And again, the restaurant business, I'm sorry, it's not that great nowadays. Unless you're like a highly class, popular TikTok restaurant, you are not making much money nowadays because of the recession. Again, I know in the rookie world, there is no recession, at least what we're aware of. But, you know, money's tight, man. The food gets expensive. And, like, you know, they're shaking down the guy for twice a week with barely limited income. Like, bro, you'd be happy if he's not even in business anymore if you keep taking his money. Anywho, so he says, no, I can't do it. Like, I don't have the money right now. The sister tries to, like, use a gun to, like, you know, force him. Like, yeah, give me the money now. And Lucy attempts to defuse the situation. She's like, nah, woman, you know, you gotta back off. Like, you know, you're definitely, like, you know, overstepping your boundaries right now. The leader, again, calms out the situation, sides with Lucy. And even, like, gives the brief aside, like, you know, we already had one murder today. We already had one murder recently. You gotta ditch the gun soon because that's still a murder weapon. And she's like, nah, it's my lucky side piece. Like, doesn't matter. Gotta go. But she doesn't listen. And even with all that happening, Lucy has enough evidence to put the sister away, just based on reasonable suspicion. So they're preparing the arrest, so they head back over. I don't know why. They decided to head over back to the kid's house where that's where the sister was about to go meet him. They meet up for a bit, and he's like, you know, you could do me a big solid, just take this gun. You know, it's like, just use it. Just if you ever need to use it, go ahead. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, killing is not the solution. Yeah, okay. First of all, yeah, I understand it is probably like the easiest way for revenge, but taking a life is. This is one of those arguments where, like, I appreciate we would have those conversations, we would have those talk civil discussion about what's right, what's wrong, what's my definition of right, what's your definition of right. I get that, but, like, okay, if you're having a squabble with someone in school, like, there are other ways. Yes, I know it may seem tough, but grow up. Like, eventually, this thing won't even matter in a few years. You know, just keep going. You deal with it. You move on. You don't have to shoot someone just to get revenge. And the kid sadly takes the gun for a bit. Once Lucy gives them the okay, they're like, yeah, we got enough reasonable evidence to suspect that she was the murderer. So they go in for the arrest, and originally it gets a little heated because the kid has the gun. It's unknown if the kid's just going to, like, drop the gun or maybe, like, use this as a moment to, like, you know, defend her sister. He does the right move. He gives the gun away. But Howard, he just immediately assumes that you were using me to get to my sister. You weren't trying to take down their gang. And, like, yeah, it's that bit squabble of, like, yes, it is understandable what the motivation is. But at the end of the day, like, you know, they have to understand, like, she did commit a murder. And later when we come back to it, like, yeah, Lucy said, like, you know, don't worry, give him time. Like, eventually in a few years, he will understand that what you guys did was for the betterment. But right now he's a kid, so he's definitely not going to see, like, the larger set of things. So that was a close case, and Aaron thankfully did not gain himself a puppy. Back over to the other side of things, eventually Nolan and Selena get noticed that there was an investigation actually launched against the doctor, the guy that was actually first was stabbed before you shot. And apparently he's been getting a lot of complaints about over ordering opioid prescriptions for customers. And they decided, and they noticed that only one pharmacy is fulfilling these scripts. So they head over there and they find this guy like literally loading up boxes filled of, well, we're assuming prescription drugs. So they follow suit. The guy's already on some sort of substance. They're like, yeah, you're already arrested on that front of the road. And they look inside. It's a bunch of prescribed medication, all listed to different people. So I'm like, bro, you were not making this sus at all. Like, you were not making this sus. And, they fighted him for like a little bit, saying that if you don't tell us, we're going to charge you with all of it. He's like, no, why would I? I'm just transporting something I was unaware of 100% wise. Like, you can't charge me for that. It's like, we have reasonable probability, so we could do that. And he gives away the person who actually did stab him. So they bring him in on that. They're just figuring out what the next best move is, and decide, we're going to play him a little game just to trick him a little bit so he has his cover down a little bit. So they fake him to have a call saying that, hey, you've been blown. Get out now. I conveniently left you a getaway vehicle outside. Like, do you really think like a smart person would be like, oh, hey, I knew you were going to get caught, so I left a unmarked vehicle behind your shop with the keys in the wheel, just in case if this happened to you. Just in case, just for you. I don't know, man. This guy was kind of stupid. He runs outside. He falls right into the trap. They get him away, and they arrest him. However, the problem is when the mortician calls to confirm the cause of death, it turns out he didn't even die from the stabbing. Yeah, the guy's still guilty, but the guy wasn't even stabbed to death. He was poisoned to death. Which I'm like, bro, who is not trying to kill this one guy? And eventually they realize, yeah, it's the wife, because she filled one of the prescription that had the substance that killed him via his own prescription pad. So she's like, yeah, like, this guy was stupidly doing this for whatever reason, for money or anything. At least if I killed him and, got away with it, I would have gotten some life insurance money. Which I'm like, bro, that's the man you marry. You know the phrase, for better or for worse, for good times, for bad, for stupid times or not. Like, yeah, it still applies. But I do feel sorry for her. But they arrest her on that, and that brings an end to that. I also forgot there was a scene in the middle where Bailey literally brings a bunch of, like, paint samples and everything because she wants to redo the entire house. Like, yeah, all Nolan's construction work back in season 2, it's for nothing. It really is for nothing. And even I forgot on that one scene, like, Selena was like trying to, like, oh my god, we're planning painting something. I'm like, know your boundaries, woman. Know your boundaries. He is your TO. He is not your dad. He is not your dad. She is not your mom. You are not living in their house rent free. I'm losing my sanity over here, ladies and gentlemen. It's past midnight where I'm recording this from. I'm losing my sanity. It's a Sunday night. It's warm in my house. It's weird, like New York City. Like, at this time, it would be cold. We would have the heater on in my house. It is warm outside in November. Global warming is real, everyone. I'm making that statement. Fight me. Anywho, that case is over. They wrap it up. So it's like, it's so weird how it all began. If it wasn't for a woman shooting the guy, this will never have been solved. It's just like, faith has its own way of deciding things. It really does. Yeah, so Nolan also tries to make the betterment for Bailey by deciding to move some of her stuff already in to their house so that she can feel more at home. But she's like, nah, the energy's fine. I don't want the couch. And I'm just like, this is exactly why, kids. This is exactly why you have a formal discussion and you figure out exactly what you want in your furniture house before you move in. That's exactly what you need to do. Even she leaves like this homemade, like, gnome she made years ago, and she's like, we're gonna leave it on this wall as a sign of good luck. And an earthquake hits, and it falls, and it gets shattered. And I'm like, I really hope that this is a sign for bad things to come. I really hope it isn't. But lastly, I forgot to mention is that there was a whole, like, Wesley, not a big one, but like a Wesley Elijah front where, yeah, Wesley is becoming more aware that Elijah is going after mostly the LAPD, and he makes it clear, like, yeah, I will, okay, every time this gets rejected, okay, I will refile again and put more names on the list. I will put Nolan's name on the list. I would put Bradford's name on the list. I will put even Aaron's name on the list. I will put everyone who put me away on this list, and I will make sure I take not their money, all of their money, for damages to me. I'm just like, bro, this is the same guy who literally fucking like hid in a freaking like metal cloth. Now he's acting all macho. Again, I know it's a scheme. I know. I'm just like, saying like that one moment of weakness is like, it's still gonna remember. It's still gonna haunt him. It's still gonna haunt him. But, however, he will drop all the charges. He will walk away if Wesley gives a live apology to him on the air with his wife present, with sincerity saying that I'm sorry for my mistake. And I'm just like, oof, that hits the worst. It's not even about the money. It's a pride. It's a respect thing. The moment when you have to fake an apology just to protect your family, but it still hurts your soul. I feel in Wesley's story. I look at Lopez's face and like, she's not even happy. She's like, what are we doing? Like, the guy who's caused so much pain in our lives in the last year and some change is literally holding us hostage. And he's still like playing it for the cameras. Like, this is a sign of a new beginning that, justice has been served. And he's even like signaling to Wesley like, smile. And I'm just like, oof. This man knows how to kill it, and I love it. Again, I hope this isn't the end. I hope this is like a part of like even a longer revenge scheme. I really do hope, but we'll see what happens. We will absolutely see what happens. But that was it for this week's episode of The Rookie. Again, I thought this was a really good one. Definitely continuing the Elijah factor. Not being a major, it's a big end of the crisis week episode. It's not. It's just him tormenting someone or everyone slowly but surely. And we do know he has more plans. We do know, he may not have his drug empire anymore. He still's got money, but he's going to slowly rebuild back up. But he is planning something. He definitely is planning something bigger. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be as simple as 1, 2, 3, but this is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I want to see. Seeing Noah and Selena's case kind of like take like a very spiral turn was like pretty funny. Like, it's this twist. It's like, that was all pretty funny. Seeing Lucy actually go undercover was pretty interesting, was pretty cool to see, like, the results of her training. Like, I definitely felt like she'd really hardened up. Like, this is not the same awkward Lucy when she did her first couple of undercover experiences before. Like, she was solidified. She knew exactly what she had to do. She never let her cover down. And that was great. Like, I was like, bravo. Like, I was really impressed by that. Otherwise, yeah, they're definitely playing the longer game with this one. This definitely felt like a little bit of a lighter episode this week, just focusing on the characters more, but definitely playing up the longer game. That Elijah is still a consistent threat. He will persevere somehow. When we see him again, well, who knows what he has planned. But for me, honestly, this episode was great as always, and I'm going to give this episode 2 thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this week's episode of The Rookie? Let's have a conversation down below, and I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's of the Two from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the 5th season of The Rookie. If you want to know what we're doing normally What's of the Two, besides our Rookie episode reviews, we're currently doing Rookie Feds episode reviews each and every week. We're currently doing Walker episode reviews each and every week, DC Stargirl episode reviews each and every week, and Walker Independence episode reviews each and every week. After random episodes on the CW and ABC, so go check them out there. If you don't care about The Rookie, though, sadly, we will be taking a whole month off. That's right, a whole month with no Rookie. I'm bummed. I'm really bummed, but this was supposed to happen. I knew next week we weren't going to get an episode. I knew that. There was absolutely nowhere they were going to go for 8 episodes, 8 brand new episodes in a week. Like, I'm pretty sure they burned almost most of what they shot this year. I'm pretty sure. But, good comes with patience, good stuff comes with time, and we will eventually see our favorite cast again in a month. It's gonna be a long month though. Like, oof, I got a lot planned this month. But anywho, so for any case, if you don't care about The Rookie, I'll see you all in a month. I know Rookie Fez is off this week, but we'll be back next week. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on one of those on and off again cycles. Not doing a traditional run, but we'll see how it goes. But the Rookieverse will continue again next week with the Rookie Feds. So stay over on that side. But at least that's what I'm happy about. Like, yeah. We have a whole month without the Rookie, but we got the Rookie Feds. So the Rookieverse is still alive. So kudos on that front. But again, this has been Joe from ActionX. Please subscribe to us only on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode reviews live. Please also like, favorite, share this video if you want to. And please also follow us on social media. But until we see each other again, for all you members of the Rookie Nation out there, I'll see y'all next December 5th. Oh, it's going to be a long month. Hopefully it gets colder by then. Like, I'm not used to sweating in November. Like, it's so weird. Like, global warming is a thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's the thing we need to talk about for the next month while we're off the air for the rookie side of things. But until then, I'll see you on a month. Stay safe out there. Be good. Enjoy your Thanksgivings if you celebrate Thanksgivings. Otherwise, enjoy your November. But until we see each other again in December, see y'all then. But until then, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.